Good morning and welcome back. This is Sports Chat. I'm Robin Toskin. I'm talking to journalists to help us understand what needs to be done for Harambee Stars to revive its hope for the African Cup of Nations that will be played in Cameroon next year. Last night, they were beaten 2-1 by Comoros in the reverse fixture. The first game was played on Wednesday at Kasarani, and that game ended 1-1. And just in case you don't have all the information, please make way to your newsstand, because at the Standard newspaper, we have you are back covered. We have comprehensive coverage. And of course, tomorrow again, you can have another chance to get to understand what happened in Comoros. Now, the two gentlemen here, Seth Onserio and Ayo, are trying to help us understand how this can be done. Ayo, I'm coming to you straight. We are still to play Egypt. That will be on March 22nd next year, and then on March 30th we play Togo. Do you think from those two games we can get the 6 points to take us over the line and qualify to Cameroon?
Yeah, with football, anything is always possible, and you always have to give your best until the last match. And I think for me, that's really what Harambee Stars have to do. But honestly, I feel like the next two games are just a case of formality. I don't see any way for us, leapfrogging the Comoros and actually even beating Egypt. Because remember, when it comes to the business end of games, the best teams always find a way to actually win. So I see Egypt actually getting the points that they need, especially when they play against Togo tomorrow. I'm sure that's a game that they're going to win, and they're going to join the Comoros at the top of the league. I don't see any way in for Kenya, and I don't see any way in for Togo actually somehow, even if Kenya go ahead and cause, I think, the mightiest of upsets by beating Egypt here and actually winning also away to Togo. Those are the only ways we can actually find a way to get in. Because remember, this time around there are no qualifiers. The top two teams get in straight in. So I don't see any way in for us. But that doesn't mean that we don't have anything to do. We still have some matches to honor. So for Ghost Gule, maybe those are two matches that you just have to try out. A new midfield, maybe a new center partnership. So it's just a case of trying out, but I don't see a way in for us. It's a done deal, honestly.
That is Steve Masters' verdict there. Of course, we still have 2 matches left, and only 2 teams qualify from each group. There are 12 groups in the continent, and the top 2 teams will qualify automatically to Cameroon come next year. And Seth, Kenyans say that we've missed the services of Michael Olunga, who is marooned in Japan because of the coronavirus pandemic. They've been taking precautions. Do you think with the return of Olunga into the squad, we can have our chances against Togo and Egypt?
Sure, we missed Olunga. Actually, in both legs, especially home, there are several chances which I know Olunga could have finished. And then also talking about our chances, I was discussing with Ayo moments ago, and the only way that we can maybe have a chance of qualifying is by Togo beating Egypt, which I don't see. So if Egypt, for example, beat Togo, they'll be on 8 points, and then they'll be remaining with our match at home, and then at their home, that is against Comoros. So they will need a win, which will take them to 11 points. So if we beat Togo and Egypt, those will be 6 points. 6 add to 3, that will be 9. If Egypt get 2 wins against Togo, against Comoros, they'll be on 11 points. Head to head, Comoros will be ahead of us. So I don't see us making it to Cameroon, unless, as I've said, Togo beats Egypt. Then talking of also on some aspect, you've asked me about Olunga. Should we rely on Olunga? What about if he gets injured? We should try and find someone, a worthy replacement. Someone who we know, there is no Olunga, he can do the job. And that also goes back, not even to the federation, but to the technical bench. Yes, they need to do their homework. They need to find someone, a worthy replacement.
But from where? Because we've seen all the Kenyan Premier League clubs that we have, you know, of the strikers that are available. You've just talked about Oscar Wamalwa. Has he been given the chances to prove himself? We have Jesse Were in Zambia, and his stay in the national team has been, mysterious. Nobody knows or understands why he's not played, Steve Ayo. Do you think we can get replacements for Michael Olunga?
Now that's where the problem lies. We saw Olivier Giroud playing for France, and actually, I think the entire World Cup for that he had not scored. But look at the contribution he had. It was amusing, actually. I don't know whether I should say amusing or not amusing when Sebastian Minya said that Jesse Were has been given the chances and is not delivering. He should ask himself, why is Jesse Were not delivering? That is the current technical bench should ask themselves why Jesse Were is delivering for Zesco but not for the national team. Because at club level, that guy is consistent actually. And a couple of seasons ago, not even seasons ago, even currently, is the lead striker there in Zambia. So bring him to Kenya, for example. If I give him the services, let us say I give him Nyakea on the right maybe, and then I give him Boniface Mushiri on the left, I'm sure Jesse Were will score. But there is no point of me bringing Jesse Were and playing him from the wing, expecting him to deliver. And then also talking about being given chances. Once, let me go back. Let me take you back to what I said earlier. We have the players like Avire. I have full confidence. I've seen him play for Sofapaka. I saw what he did when he was paired with Olunga against Tanzania. Give this guy a chance. See what he can do. Let us not give chances to players who are too comfortable in the national team. As Ayo put it, we can't expect different results with the same players.
You actually alluded to the need maybe to change the midfield, that in the next two matches, Ghost Mulee should explore other options. If you look at the Kenya Premier League clubs and the players that we have out there around the world, we've seen this Gonzalez in Spain. Do you think we have enough players that can replace the current trusted midfield of Eric Joanna Omolo, and Victor Wanyama?
Definitely, 100%. And I think that's why we had the likes of Muguna and Lawrence Juma actually coming into that game, which I think Seth mentioned it initially, but it was really, really strange to see Lawi starting ahead of Muguna. Obviously, that change was made at halftime. If you would have asked Lawrence himself, like, should he be the one to start on Muguna, I think he would have said, let Muguna start ahead of me. So it was really strange to see him getting the nod to start first. But as far as I think that position in central midfield, both attacking and defensive midfield is concerned, as far as the fullbacks and even the wing-back position is concerned, I think there's enough competition. There are a lot of young, hungry players there actually who have the capability, who have the hunger actually to take up those positions and deliver, because I think that some players actually just wanted to show that they belong in those positions until they got their moves outside. The moment they've gone to Sweden, the moment they've gone to those other European countries, it seems that they're comfortable. So I think heads really have to roll. So, but the question is, do we have a coach who is capable to do that? Is he independent in terms of even teams selection? Can he just decide and say that I'm not going to play this player and actually stick by that, and that is what happened? So is there actually a hand that plays in as far as the selection of national team players is concerned? Because you look at some players in there and you're like, okay, why does he keep getting one chance after another?
Yes.
And others don't get the same kind of opportunity. So I think that there's a lot of questions that need to be asked about national team selection in the first place, because there are a lot of players that we feel that are more deserving than others, but they're not getting that opportunity.
Seth, what are some of the questions that you would want maybe to ask Jacob Ghost Mulee once the team lands in the country?
Yes, maybe I would love to know why he opted actually to stick with Ayub Timbe, and then also why he opted to leave Muguna out of the starting lineup. And then also I would love to know then what prompted him to make that substitution, harsh substitution, bringing in Muguna when things were too hot for him to handle. And then I remember also in the interview prior to the game, I said that we have no excuse. The field looks good. We want it's not like Kasarani where we played last time. So I want to ask him, what changed? Is it maybe the pressure? And then also, I'd like to ask him also, maybe why is it that some players have to play when they're seemingly not at their best? Those are the questions I would love to ask him.
Now, this general question. What then needs to be done in terms of building the national team, reconstructing the national team that can answer the dreams of Kenyans? Because the other day I saw Football Kenya Federation coming up with a program. They've gone around the country selecting an under-17 squad. They're saying that that's the best way to go to enable the country select some of the best young talent. Do you think that is the right approach to go about, Seth?
Well, I think next time when I have a conversation with Barry or maybe Nick Mwenda, I'll ask them first what happened with that program they had started, because those are the players who I think could be used right now, instead of going the whole country looking for under-17s. These are like temporary measures. These under-17 players, for example, if I ask you, where are those players, the under-17 who played last year, where are they right now? Actually, I think a few will answer that question. And then also, way forward, as you said it, even in the Kenyan Premier League, even in the National Super League, I watch those matches, I cover them. We have players who have what it takes to play in the national team. Let us avoid recycling players, giving players who don't deserve a chance. Something that to date beats my logic. Why go for Arnold Origi when you have Ian Otieno, who has played well for Zambia? What does Ian Otieno need? Ian Otieno needs time. Ian Otieno needs chances. And from those, Ian Otieno could grow. Dennis Onyango for Uganda. Dennis Onyango, looking the way he started actually, Dennis Onyango was not that good. But he grew. He became a better player. At 35, he's still giving his best. So let us nurture Ian Otieno. Let us make him our Dennis Onyango. Number two, in the midfield, for example, let us say, it's not, for example, that because Statham Serio is a captain that I deserve to start. Yes, I understand that Wanyama is arguably, let's say, our biggest player. That's the national team.
You can't argue about that.
Most times, we had Rooney sitting on the bench. At that time, Rooney was a good player, but his form had dipped. So it was not a guarantee for him to start matches. So let us know that this is the national team. Let us give deserving players, the likes of Nyakea, a chance. Boniface Mushiri, did you see what that guy did when he got a chance at Kasarani? Did you see that guy, what that guy did the last time actually we played a friendly match against Uganda, that 1-1 draw? And those were just a few minutes when he came on the pitch. We have players who can deliver.
That's a good point. That's a good point, Seth. And I would like now to finish with Ayo. Just quickly, what is the way forward, Ayo, in reconstructing the national team before we call it a day?
I agree with Seth when he says that we've been having all these youth programs, year after year. We had so many of these, and we are not seeing the results. There just seems to be no continuity at all. Like every single year, we are rolling out a youth program. We are recruiting youth players. That seems to be the tune that we keep hearing from FKF each and every single year, which is very unfortunate. There needs to be continuity. Like once you scout these players, where are you taking them? Are you following up on their careers? Is there like a development path for them? Are you actually even looking at ways in which to integrate them into the Kenyan Premier League? Because from what I gather so far is that there seems to be not a lot of confidence on Kenyan Premier League players. I don't know whether that has to do with anything has to do with the beef that the apparent beef that FKF had with the KPM management. I don't know whether that's the case, but The fact that now FKF is taking over the league, probably they'll have a lot more confidence on locally based players. Maybe that's where they feel the confidence. But the way forward is always, can you integrate new players into the system?
Okay.
Only that, but I don't think there seems to be a lot of interest as far as that is concerned. So I don't know. We just have to
Thank you, gentlemen.
See what next FKF is rolling out.
Thank you, Steve and Serio. We love to leave it at that and hope that all shall be well with the national team because there are only 2 matches now left against Egypt on March 22nd here in Nairobi, and then Kenya will wrap up the qualification campaign away to Togo in Lome on March 30th. We just hope that they'll be able to turn around the fortunes and that we qualify for the African Cup of Nations in 2021 in Cameroon. This has been Sports Chat. Now we'd like to shift gears and get back to my colleague, that is Michael Gitonga, for the rest of the program.
Thank you very much, Robin Toskin, and keeping us abreast with what's happening in the sports world. And evidently, there's a lot of work that's needed for Harambee Stars to get back to, the pinnacle that they should be at. But of course, that's a discussion that you've had. Well, we are out of time right here on Morning Express, and I take this opportunity to thank you all for watching Morning Express this morning and for all your participation. Those of you who've sent your answers to the question that we had asked earlier on, let's keep the conversation going on. But for us on Morning Express, we say thank you for watching and wish you all a fantastic and a wonderful day. Do stay with us right here on KTN News if you can, as we've got News Center coming up with Brenda Zeda Radido, where you're going to be getting more news and reviews. Do have yourselves a wonderful day. Keep safe.
This is KTN News.